I don't know how many times I have to say that. I'm like messing up. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, my name is Brianna. Please subscribe to my channel, push the notification bell button, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And let's get right into today's video. Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk about the 5 things that helped me lose over 50 pounds. And yeah, this is going to be a short, quick, simple video. Hopefully, if you guys want to know more details, that you'll just leave a comment down below and let me know, and we can have a quick story time or more videos that I can upload for you guys to see. So number 1, the first thing that helped me lose over 50 pounds is going to the gym. So I wrote everything down, guys, because I just didn't want my brain to be scrambled eggs when I'm talking to you today. But yeah, so I just gave myself some quick notes. But for number 1, the first thing that helped me lose over 50 pounds was going to the gym. I know it sounds simple, but for me, I was more of someone who I liked being active, but I wasn't really active. So I enjoyed playing games, and I played a lot of sports in high school. I did lacrosse and flag football. I even did some weightlifting. And I worked with kids, so I really enjoyed playing like games with them and stuff like that, like competitive nature in me. It's coming out. Yeah, I loved playing games. And that was more of where I was more getting active or like moving around. I just wasn't really into just going to the gym. And in my mind, going to the gym was like walking on the treadmill and doing the elliptical. And there's nothing bad about it. It's just, it wasn't for me. And that's just what I thought it was. And I get bored easily. So doing the same thing over and over and over was boring to me. So I just had no interest in going to the gym. I just didn't think it was fun enough. So that was why going to the gym was a big thing for me. So I went and I registered at a different gym, and it was more like a group workout. So I didn't have to put any effort in thinking about what I was doing, which was great. And then they also had something new for us to do every single day. So I really loved that. I didn't have to think about what I want to work out and do. And it was something new, and I made friends doing it. So working out at the gym was great for me. It really helped me. And I made sure that if I didn't go to the gym in the morning, I went in the afternoon. And if I didn't go in the afternoon, I definitely went in the morning. But regardless, I always went 2 times a day. So the classes are like an hour long. So I did an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon. And eventually, as I kept going, I was able to do a little bit more in the morning and maybe just stay home in the afternoon. But I really made sure that my schedule was strict. I worked out in the morning and I worked out in the afternoon. So that is number 1 of how I lost over 50 pounds. Number 2 for how I lost over 50 pounds. So I cooked every single thing that I ate. If I wanted a dinner roll, I made homemade dinner rolls. If I wanted a lasagna, I made homemade lasagna. If I wanted a burger, like anything that I ate, I made it homemade. I know those aren't the healthiest examples that I gave you guys, but trust me, I did eat healthy. But the point was, I cooked everything. I'm not like big on knowing like what I should and shouldn't eat. I've learned a lot though over the past year or 2. But when I was just starting out and how I got to lose 50 pounds, at that time, I really didn't know like what was good, what wasn't. I had basic information like everybody, but at the time it just wasn't like things that I knew or was aware of. So I was also just starting out my venture into being plant-based, and at that time like I said, I was reading a lot of like the ingredients and what goes into the food. And I just started getting to the point where I was like, this is a lot of reading, this is a lot of work. Like, I don't know what is in half of this stuff. So I started making everything homemade because I figured if I was making it homemade, I knew it wasn't, I figured if it was all homemade, I can control what was in my food and how much of whatever I put into it. So it was more of a way that it was easier for me to track. And like I said before, in my first video, I mentioned that I was home a lot due to the pandemic, and so I had a lot of time on my hands. So not cooking everything is not really realistic, especially when you're working and you have a family and you just have a lot of things to do. It's kind of hard to make everything. So I know it's not really realistic for everybody, but for me to lose 50 pounds, I did that. I don't necessarily do that anymore, and I'm still losing weight, so that's great. But for me at the time, cooking everything was a way for me to kind of control what I was eating and know what I was eating. So my goal was just to eat as clean as possible, and yeah. Oh, another thing. I am not a big fan of a diet. I can't tell you how many times I went on a diet and I failed. I've been trying to lose weight for so long, and this is the first time that I'm actually consistent. This is the first time that I'm actually seeing real results. And this is the first time that I haven't spiked up so high that I just felt like giving up. I've been at a constant up and down, but gradually going down at the same time. So because I didn't believe in like the whole diet thing, I decided that this time was going to be different, and that if I wanted something sweet, because if you know me, I have a huge sweet tooth, and I knew that if I didn't have anything sweet, that eventually I would just eat so much and just be like, man, just forget it. I'm not gonna continue to lose this weight. So this time around, I told myself that if you wanted something sweet, you could have it. So if I wanted a lasagna, I made a lasagna. And if I wanted a cookie, I ate a cookie. But of course, I'm saying this all with the intention that you understand that it was in moderation. I did not eat a lot of it. I ate little portions. And if I made anything, I made small portions. So I would make enough that everyone in my house could have a serving, and I would have a serving, and that was it. It was gone. I stopped making huge portions. Another thing about me is I do love to cook, and it just kind of relaxes me, and I enjoy it so much. But I used to make these huge portions, and everyone in my family would eat, and then we'd have some the next day. So I used to cook so much food, and I didn't know why. I just didn't really measure. I just cooked. And so this time around, I really learned how to control the amounts of food that I was making, and I made portion sizes so everyone had a portion. And if you wanted the sweet or something that wasn't necessarily, healthy, it was, small pieces, so you have a little now, and that was it. There was no more extra, nothing to tempt you to want more. So that was number 2 of how I lost 50 pounds. Okay, so the next thing that helped me lose over 50 pounds was worrying about myself. I had to really learn this and really focus on just me and stop worrying about what everybody else was doing. I felt like it was really damaging to my own weight loss journey, and it really affected like how I was going about losing weight. I'm not going to share the whole entire story, but if you do want to know the whole story of why this is such a big deal to me, then please comment down below for story time. Just put story time in the comments and I'll make sure I get that video out to you guys. But number 3 was worrying about yourself and just you. So one of the things that I really needed to learn was like tunnel vision. To some people that might sound bad, to others that sounds great. For me, that was a good thing. I needed to focus on just one thing. I spent so much time focusing on 5-6 different things and what everybody is doing. And I realized that for me to succeed, I had to stop worrying about what everybody else was doing, how fast everyone's progressing in their weight loss journey. And I just had to worry about me. I couldn't worry about helping anybody else. I just have to focus on what I was doing and what was best for me. So I decided that it was tunnel vision. So I had to have tunnel vision, and my eyes was on the prize. So that really helped me focus and stay focused on my goals to lose weight. So that was really, it was having like the tunnel vision is really hard because, you know, you always have people say like, well, don't you want to hang out with your friends? Like, what if something came up or whatever? And yes, I had tunnel vision and I was very strict and I followed a strict schedule, but I still had time for my friends and my family and just to be spontaneous and have fun. So yes, I was focused, but I made sure that whatever I did, how was this going to affect me and my goals? So if I stayed out late and hung out and decided to have a drink, was drinking healthy for my goals? Not really. Was staying out late healthy for my goals? Not really. So I would go out with my friends, but I knew, okay, it's 11 o'clock or it's 12 o'clock. Like, I need to go home because I need to wake up early so that I can make it to the gym and I can work out and I can continue making it to my or eventually reaching my goals. So that's kind of how I looked at it. I still had fun. I still got to do things that was, you know, not really in my schedule, but I made sure that whatever I did, I had that thought in the back of my mind of, is going out a good option for tonight? Is doing this a good option for tonight? Because you do have a different priority. And my main priority is losing weight and being healthy. So that's kind of how I looked at everything. And that kind of ends number 3. Like I said, if you want to know the story time for number 3, just comment down below story time and I can tell you guys why this was so big to me. But number 3 is really big, and that's really what helped me and is helping me to continue to lose weight. Okay, so number 4, food is not a reward. I had to learn this, guys. It was hard. I realized that I was an emotional eater. If I was happy, I went out and I was like, I have to celebrate. If I was sad, I just ate sugar or sweets because that's like my biggest thing. I ate sweets and I had bad like thinking of when I eat this, I'd just be like, I'm already fat, so it didn't matter. So I would eat the sweets and not care. So I really had to learn, like, I was an emotional eater and food was not a reward. So this one was, it was hard to learn at first, but I think as I kept sticking to it and telling myself, nope, you're not going to do that, then I really started to see some results. So one of the things that I grew up always like thinking was that it's Friday night, let's go out to eat, or let's order pizza, or, you know, like every family has that, and it's not a bad thing to do. But I didn't have any control when it came to that. So I figured, I worked out, it is lunchtime, I'm gonna go out to eat, and then later on that night, if my family decided to order pizza, then I would eat that too, and I would eat desserts, and I just had no control over like what I was eating. And I just figured, you know what, it's the end of the night, it's Friday, enjoy yourself, Monday we'll start back serious. And I realized that eating horrible Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then trying to go back on Monday, it was just hard. Like, I wasn't feeling my body properly, and then Mondays it was just hard to get back into it, and it kind of just was not helping, and I wasn't losing weight. I was kind of maintaining it at that point, or barely losing. So I realized that food wasn't a reward. So some things that I did was I would tell myself, okay, it's Friday, you can go out for lunch. And so I would take myself out to lunch, but it wasn't like anything junk. Like, it wasn't really bad food. I would probably get a sub, or I would go get a hot plate of food from somewhere, and I would just eat my portion, and then that was it. Or I would wait and I'd say, okay, it's dinner, you can go out and get something for dinner. But I never straight up went and ate crazy anymore. I kind of controlled that. And 9 times out of 10, I stopped rewarding myself in food. And I mostly was like, all right, it's Friday. Did you reach your goals? Yes, you can go to the store and get a new outfit. And I realized that buying a new outfit for myself, or new workout clothes, or new shoes, like that made me feel so much better than going to get food, because I could cook the food myself, so I could save money. And then of course I felt good buying new clothes, because I would go and I'd realize, oh, this is kind of loose, and I used to wear this size, so it made me feel good. And of course there's more options when your size gets smaller. So I was able to buy different things that I was able to buy different things that I never had before, because it didn't come in my size. So that made me feel great. And when I was able to do that, it was more rewarding to myself than going to get food. So number 4, stop rewarding yourself with food. Go get your nails done, go get the new outfit, go hang out with your friends, do something other than reward yourself with food. We are not dogs. So that was another thing of how I lost 50 pounds. I stopped rewarding myself with food. I took better care of myself. So yeah, that was another big thing that you really have to get over. So yeah, this is the last one, guys. Okay, so number 5, guys, on how I lost over 50 pounds. I made a schedule. I know it sounds funny to some people. Others are like, that's a great idea, girlfriend. But no, seriously, I made a schedule and I stuck to it. I personally believe I thrive off of schedules. I like knowing things in advance. I like having time to get dressed and not rush. And yeah, I just love schedules. So I don't really make them for everything, but I do make it for big things. And losing weight was a big thing to me. It was a number 1 priority. And so I needed to make a schedule. I know you guys heard me mention multiple times now. In my first video, I talked about how I was home a lot due to COVID. And during that time, because I was home so much, my schedule was out of whack. I've spent over 9 years on a strict schedule, changed every few months, but my schedule was very strict for 9 years. Like, I went to school, I went to work, I went out, or I went to the gym, and it was just serious. And of course, it didn't stay the same for 9 years, but the point was, for 9 years, I knew these were the times that I worked, these were the times that I went to school. I could do whatever I want outside of that. And not working and not going to school anymore and just being home, it kind of ruined like any kind of schedule I had. I was up all night, I was up all day, I was sleeping all day, I was up all night. It was just a hot mess, guys. And so I realized really quickly, especially when I realized like school was canceled for the rest of the year, I was like, no, I can't do this. I'm sleeping all day. I was like, I need to make a schedule and I need to stick to it. So part of my schedule was how I was going to work out, how I was going to move around, and I stuck to it. So I did mention it before. I made sure that I worked out in the morning, and I made sure I worked out in the afternoon. And in between, I gave myself like little things to do. I went for a walk. I went swimming, I did arts and crafts. So I made myself a serious schedule, and even though COVID is still happening, we are able to start school and stuff again online. So I was able to put my school schedule in there and my workout schedule, and I stuck to it. I did not let anyone change how my schedule was going to be ran, meaning if my friend called me up, hey Brianna, let's go out today, or let's go to lunch, I would be like, sorry, I can't go. Or I'd be like, hey, we can go tomorrow. I just need to have time to like put that into my schedule and make sure that my number one priority of making sure I was cooking good, healthy meals, making sure I was working out was, done first. So that is how I was able to contribute my schedules to my weight loss. I stuck to it, and my schedule was very like strict in a way that if I didn't show up to the gym at, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, they would all be like, where's Brianna? Is she coming to, do we know she's okay? Because she's always here. Did something happen on her way here? And so that was like a serious thing. Like everyone knew this time I was going to be at the gym, and at this time I would be leaving the gym. So my schedule was very strict. Currently though, guys, I am working on that schedule, but it is going back to a strict schedule starting today. Well, I'm starting my strict schedule tomorrow, actually. My classes start back up and stuff, so I have new schedule of how it's going to work for the next few months. So that's what I'm doing. Summertime, I had a lot of fun. So yeah, that is how I was able to lose 50 pounds. Schedule is a big thing, guys, and you have to stick with it. And sometimes you have to say no to a fun activity, but at the end of the day, if you want to have fun, go have fun. Just know, like, as long as what you're supposed to do for the day is done, then you're good to go. And I always had it with the mindset of, if I already worked out in the morning, if I really want to skip the afternoon workout, I would, so that I could go have fun, or I would just do a little walking or a little bit more the next day. So I just stuck with the schedule, guys. Everyone's schedules look a little different. Mine had a lot more flexibility, so it didn't hurt that much to... Sorry, I got a message. But I had a lot more flexibility in my day, so it was easier to kind of just like, okay, I can go out, but I have to be home at this time so that I can get to this workout on time. So yeah, that is how scheduling helped me lose over 50 pounds. Okay, so there it is. Those are the 5 things that helped me lose over 50 pounds. I really hope this video isn't too long. I wanted it to be short and sweet, but I just had so much I wanted to share with you guys. So hopefully it's not that long. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please drop a heart in the comment box. I really want to know who you are. And don't forget to comment down below story time if you want to hear the story about number 3 and what really helped me understand that number 3 was important. And don't forget to, of course, subscribe to this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, push the notification bell button. That way when I post a new video, you'll be the first to know. And I'll see you guys in my next video.